Hey, how's everybody doing today? Just a quick check-in right quick because got this load, but they don't got no empty. I went to this one place, they don't got no empty, so now I'm waiting to hear back from my dispatcher to get an empty. It's probably gonna be a little harder because it's Sunday. Child, this weekend has been crazy. The other truck that I was in, that y'all normally will see me in, it had too many repairs that needed to be done, so they switched out the truck. So now I'm in a nice truck. I love this truck, but you can't really see it, but I don't know if you remember the difference. The back of my other truck was black. The interior was all black. This interior is all beige. So of course, it has like a better lighting. So I like it. The only thing is I don't know what it's governed to. It might be governed to 65. My other truck was governed to 70. So I was flying down them highways, okay? I think this one is governed at 65. So that sucks. So right now I'm just waiting for them to send me a message on my tablet as to where my next, let me see, oh, they haven't responded yet. Hopefully I'm not late to pick up this load. It shouldn't be a big deal because my pickup is a preloaded trailer. So it's not an appointment time, but it technically has to be picked up by 2 o'clock. So hopefully. So all weekend, well, I've been shut down since Thursday. I think it was Thursday or Wednesday. So all weekend I was moving my stuff. Then it was a big ass thunderstorm, so that slowed me down. Finally got all my stuff in the truck yesterday, and then had to clean up the truck, clean out the other truck. So I'm still tired. Finally got to bed about, I'm gonna say 1 a.m. and then I woke up around 6:30 or 7 o'clock. Now my internal clock is like, it always wakes up at 6, between 6 and 7, no matter what time I go to bed. But I just feel exhausted because I also had to do my homework. That took about 10 hours because I had to catch up on some stuff. So right now I am a little bit exhausted, and I had a topic I wanted to talk about, but now I can't talk about it because I don't got much time. By the time I start getting into it, they're gonna send me that message. I have a 1,000-mile load, so that should keep me busy for 2 days. And the topic was going to be about like aging and, you know, the benefits and the the benefits and the cons of getting older. But I don't want to talk about it right now. And then there was another topic I had wanted to talk about, you know, societal, pressure to be in a relationship. That's something I think we need to talk about, because when people pressure you, I'm going to say a tidbit of what I was thinking. The pressure of being in a relationship, especially in the way they do it now, where it's like, if you're not in a relationship by this age, or if you haven't had kids by this age, or married by this age, that means you ain't do it right. It's just so, the way humans put this false premise on one another is crazy, because you don't know what the world's looking like. You know what I'm saying? You don't know what type of people are out there. You have to take your time to get to know people. And sometimes people make that mistake, being in a relationship for a long time. They might see the red flags, or they do rush into this relationship, get married, and then the red flags show up. You know how that go? Or they tell you, oh, well, you shouldn't get married until you have your life together. And then it takes you a while to get your life together. So by the time you get, there was this thing where women would go after their career first, have their stability, and then try to get married, and then they would get chastised for taking too long. You can't win. You can't win, especially the way the society is made. When I say this society, I'm talking about this modern way of doing things, especially here in this country, where everything is more about money, capitalism. If you don't have a certain amount of money, you're not going to make it. Everything is expensive. You're not going to make it unless you live somewhere in the boonies. And psychology has done studies where most people end up, see, I got the message. See, as soon as I was about to talk about it, most people end up in a relationship that they're in close proximity to. They end up being around the people that they're in most close range to. They're not going to go to a whole nother city or state to go find their partner. So if you, let's say you live in Arkansas, usually that's what you're going to be limited to being with. And then they say, well, try online dating, but that's a risk too, you know. People can make up false personalities on the internet. Yes, they said I don't need an empty, so I can roll over to my my pickup without going to have to hunt a trailer down. Because sometimes on the weekends you ain't gonna find no trailer, okay? They gave me an address and there was no trailer here. The lady was like, we don't have no trailers. I cut my finger last night on my knife. Me and these knives. I went and bought a knife, and for people that didn't see my video, I cut my foot on my on one of my knives, and it cut real deep, okay, to the point where it needed stitches. I should have went to the hospital that night, but I didn't. I closed it up with the bandage, and now it's healed. It's healed with a lot of scar tissue. There's a lot of scar tissue under it. It's so thick. So right now my toe still hurts, the first toe. I can't really bend it because there's a lot of nerve damage. If it doesn't feel better by like a month from now, because it takes a while for nerve damage to heal. That's what the emergency room told me. They said it could take a couple of months. If not, what I do is I put heat on my foot to heal a little bit of whatever's going on. I use a heating pad. Sometimes I soak my foot in hot water. But if it doesn't heal by then, I may have to get therapy on my foot to get that nerve, because my foot, this is the big toe, it has no feeling. I can feel it, but I can't really, like, it has no muscle to it, if that makes sense. So like if I pick up my whole foot, this foot is like, this toe is dangling. It's like no, like you could do like this and it has no I don't know how to explain, no structure. So, but last night I grabbed a knife when I was moving stuff, and the knife was sticking up. I didn't know it was sticking up, but I bought the knives that's not like a straight blade. It has the jagged blade, so the cut wasn't that bad. If I would have had the straight blade, it might have cut right into my skin. I hope this man not trying to get my attention, because I was being friendly to him. Now I think he's literally, oh my gosh, I see you got in. I was trying to get an empty trailer, but they don't have any, so they're about to send me to my delivery.
Gotta go somewhere else?
No, they said I could bobtail to my delivery. Huh? I'm just putting in my address. Yeah, it's not far from here. Thank you. All right. It was a Jamaican fellow. He had his phone out and everything. Okay, he was like ready for my number, but I guess I didn't give him that energy. You know, I was just about to talk about when you single. Hold on. I'm not trying to really rush to meet people, only because and they like, well, you're not gonna be young forever. Okay, well, I'll get me an old man when I get old and I look old. I'll just get somebody that look old like me. You know what I'm saying? Like, people, stop rushing to be validated. Okay? If somebody gonna love you, they gonna love you. And I want somebody that's gonna love me the right way, not on some half-ass shit or what can you do for me, but I ain't doing shit for you. I don't know why I got a habit of waving at people. I gotta stop doing that. People be thinking I'm waving like, come over here, talk to me. No, I just be bored out here on this road and I don't see people on a regular basis. So when I do see people, I say, hello, how you doing? That's just how I've always been. So whatever. But that's what I was saying about being single. It's like this pressure is getting thick. And they always want to talk negatively because people want to take their time to find the right person. Sometimes you may not find the right person for like, there's people that waited a long time, almost half their life, and they finally found that right person. If it's meant for you, it's going to be for you, okay? As long as you don't have a negative connotation and attitude and mentality about finding the right person. If you're bitter, miserable, and you feel like there's nobody out there for you, then that's what you're going to manifest. Nobody. But if you feel like you're going to wait and take your time and do things the right way, because I've made a lot of mistakes in my life, okay? And I don't really regret it. It was all learning experiences. I don't want to look at it as mistakes. because what I've learned about growing up and being more wise is that your mistakes is not really mistakes. These are learning experiences. And you learn from your experiences if you need growth, if you need more growth in how you look at life, perspectives and all that. Sometimes people want to keep you in a box, but child, I ain't keeping myself in a box, and I ain't finna let nobody else keep me in a box, okay? That was the message of the day. If you need to take time and you don't want to be single, you want to be single for a little while, take your time. I'm not saying take forever. Let's be realistic. Science shows if you trying to have a kid, it gets harder as you get 35, 40, 50. I ain't running behind no babies at 50. But if that's something you feel like that's a majority of your whole life is, I need to be a mom or a dad, then your focus needs to be on meeting people. So when you come across people, don't be shy. Open up your mouth and say, hello, how you doing? I find you attractive, or whatever. Women, same thing. You could be flirtatious without being too extra. You could say, give a cute little smile. Nobody's saying you got to throw yourself on a man, but use the charm that God gave you as a female. I don't care how you look. Put on some lipstick. If you ain't all that attractive, get your hair done, whatever. But if that's your focus is to have a kid and that's what you want to put out there, manifest that. But I just don't like the pressure that they're saying you can't be a whole individual unless you have a kid. I love my children. I really do. But if I could have done it different, I probably would have taken a little bit more time to get to know me. I would have probably been a better mom if I really understood me. My confidence level, the things I want in life. You see what I'm saying? So that's why culture is what predicts marriage. You got some cultures, as soon as the girl get her menstruation, they pushing her out there to get married. Then you got some cultures, they feel like the woman should be empowered, go to school, get your education, then find a person. So it just depends. So if this culture here is like, okay, everybody that's under 35 should be married, or you're crazy, or you're something wrong with you, that's going to put a lot of feelings of negativity on that person that doesn't have those goals. So a lot of the goals that's here in America, or just in general, like the capitalistic societies, they have this thing where you have to have money, you have to have a goal, you have to be accomplished. I'm not trying to hide this stain, I spilled something. You have to be accomplished, but at the same time, you got to be domesticated, married, and fully healed and whole. Where you gonna find time to do both and all of that? Like, we gotta be realistic. That's why I'm happy with who I am, the choices I've made in my life, all of it I've learned from, and I'm not gonna go back and say, oh, well, I want to be married at 29, then I want to accomplish my goals by 30, because you don't know what life is going to throw at you. So you can't really, you could have an idea. That's why I like my ideas to be more fluid, because when you're manifesting, you have to be able to be fluid so that when changes come about, that don't put doubt in your mind that you're not going to be able to do it, because you just may not be your time yet. The manifestation is still in the process, and you won't kill that dream because you felt it should have happened at this age or at this specific time. That's not how that works. So just to let y'all know, it's like, y'all got to be easy. If you're single out there and you're happily single, be okay with that. Don't listen to the naysayers. But if you know deep down you're not happy being single, but you're portraying something else because you feel, okay, well, there's nobody out there, so I'm just going to put up this front, you're only fooling yourself. You're only fooling yourself. Because at the end of the day, there's like a gazillion people out here in this world. You may just have to travel outside of your proximity to find what you're looking for. I'm not saying be a passport bro or a passport hoe, but you get the gist of what I'm saying. You may have to go to the next city over. If you live in a city like Arkansas where there's really nobody there, no offense to people from Arkansas, but if you find that the dating pool is slim, go outside your proximity. Take a trip. They have those events, carnival cruises. They got a lot of stuff going on. You just got to open your eyes and go on those events and look. And that's another thing I can't stand. People be like, oh, you shouldn't be single. But then the single people, when they out here trying to mingle, you got the people that's hating, or they married and they in a miserable marriage and they hating on a single life. It's like, make up your goddamn mind. Which one do you want to do? If you single, let the single people do what single people do. All up in their business, and then your marriage is all crazy, and you ain't even trying to fix that, but you hate on single people. Or you got people out here that because you are confident in your skin and mingling, and they're not so confident, they want to be, you know how they say, cock blocking. Okay, so just my little tidbit, my little opinion. But yeah, man, just be happy with you first. It's all about being happy with you first, and that's what will attract people to you. Like, you see this man was over here looking at me. I'm not saying I can get any man I want, because there's a list that I have. I have requirements. You know what I'm saying? I don't want any old body. I want somebody that's going to be spiritual and take my feelings into consideration, treat me nice, be loving, be affectionate. Ain't a lot of slim pickings when you come with like actual intangible qualities that you want from people. The pickings get slimmer, and I am well aware of that. Okay. But what I'm not going to do is be desperate and just pick a man that's going to abuse me mentally, physically, or spiritually, like what I've been through in the past. Always being a giver because I'm empathetic, and then I get shitted on. I'm not doing that no more. Okay, I learned my lesson with that. Just putting my foot down and my standards high. They're not superficial high. They're just good high, meaning the betterment or growth of the person that I will manifest is going to be on the level that I manifest for myself. If I ain't at that level, I ain't trying to manifest that level. Now, if he brings growth to me where he's above a little bit, or maybe a spiritual or mental, whatever, financial, and he says, hey, Carmen, let me show you how to do this. Let me show you how to get better with this. I'm game. I'm open. But what you're not going to do is bring me back down to the hellfire with the bullshit and the craziness that goes on out here. Allah has saved me from that. Alhamdulillah, I ain't going back. Okay. Once you see the light and you get that inner joy and that inner peace, can't nothing change that again. Okay. Love you guys. I'll try to get back on here because I did have some more stuff I want to talk about, but right now I got to focus on work. Love y'all. This is work too, technically, but this is my long-term investment. YouTube is my long-term investment. If YouTube is going to be around, y'all gonna see different growth and changes, and I love you guys for that. I love my day ones. Y'all see me from when I was just all over the place with it, and then I narrowed down my topics. I narrowed down, well, y'all see me in as far as my wisdom, even how I speak. But I just admire y'all. I admire that y'all understand where I be coming from. A lot of y'all that are like spiritually keen, y'all see what I'm saying about things that people have no clue of what I'm talking about. They be like, what is she talking about? She crazy. She don't know what she talking about. It's because they ain't there yet. Okay? But I like that y'all are there. Majority of y'all that tap in and tune in to my channel, y'all understand what it's about, what the growth is about. And we doing this together. It's nobody above nobody. Even though I'm studying my master's in psychology, and that's my career outlook, is to become a psychologist, I'm still a regular human being, just like you guys, with human feelings. So it would never be no preachy, speechy type shit. It's going to be one-on-one peer level stuff that I'll be coming with. But anyways, y'all, I can't find tangerines. I keep finding these mandarins, and they taste okay. They don't taste like tangerines. Anyways, you have a blessed day. Bye. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you're new to the channel.